Again, Shabbat Shalom. Raise your hand if you've never been to VBS before. Raise your hand if this is the first time that you're back at VBS in a long time. Well, I want to be the first to welcome you back home to VBS. And if you like programming like this, I want to invite you back all throughout the rest of the summer, and I want to invite you for the high holidays and beyond as we continue to reinvent ourselves over and over and over again. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about tonight, is the possibility of reinvention. Because I'm already looking past Tisha B'Av tomorrow night, and I'm looking towards the month of Elul that's just around the corner. What happens tomorrow morning in the Torah is something so subtle, but something that I take notice of as a filmmaker in a former life. And that is that there's a casting change of Moses. The Moses of Exodus to Numbers leaves stage right, and a new Moses enters stage left. Moses' Exodus through Numbers is Charlton Heston Moses. Moses of Deuteronomy is Walter Matthau. He should rest in peace. I don't know if anybody here is 120 years old, like Moses is in Deuteronomy as he delivers the most famous sermon. But he's a little bit crotchety in Deuteronomy. He's a little bit curmudgeon. He retells a lot of the stories we know, and suddenly none of them are his fault. He likes to complain in Deuteronomy. And so when I read the books and I cast Moses in my mind to make the stories come alive, it makes me wonder, when we tell the story of our life, who do we cast in the movie version of our lives? There are days when I feel like Paul Newman, and there are days when I feel like Jason Alexander. And I know that I shouldn't be cast as either one of those. None of us are Paul Newman or Jason Alexander. What I should be cast as is the best version of Nolan Lebovitz. Part of what's right behind the corner for us in the Jewish year, in the month of Elul, is our ability to recast ourselves as the version of ourselves that we'd like to be. And so when we sit here in awe of these amazing musicians, I mean, I have a bass at home. I play bass, but when I sit here, I realize I'm not a bass player. Many of us have guitars. Well, I won't insult anybody, but I'm not a bass player. I'm a guy who sometimes hits a few notes on a bass. But when we think to ourselves, how do we become the person that we'd like to cast to star in the movie about ourselves? That's what Yiddishkeit, that's what the Jewish tradition wants from us in the month of Elul. It wants us to sit in the casting room and read the lines of our life and wonder if we could have recited them better. It wants us to play out the scenes again and again, to return to them, which is called tshuva, and to wonder if we could have played them different. It's to look at our most intimate relationships around ourselves and to wonder if we could heal them and make them stronger. And if we can begin to answer those questions, really looking at the person that stares back at us in the mirror, then I think in some way we're ready for the high holidays. And the high holidays are going to be awesome here this year at Valley Beth Shalom. They're going to be awe-inspiring. They're going to be meaningful. And I hope that each of us shows up prepared, really prepared on the inside for what lay right around the corner. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.